Blog Talk Radio. Liftoff on another Tarot Today radio episode here on the Psychic Talk Radio Network. For the past 11 years, we've been bringing you the world of tarot. This is the official broadcast of the Tarot Guild, now in our 18th year, the international organization for tarot lovers, students, and professional readers since 2004, with the world's only full-featured tarot social media networking platform. That's right, thetarotguild.com. Come over and join us there. You know, you can sign up for free on the website, thetarotguild.com. I'm your host, Dax Carlisle, coming to you live from Tucson, Arizona. And joining me is, of course, my fabulous co-host, Mary Brown. Mary's the vice president of the Tarot Guild and the director of communications. Oh, we should talk to her about that, what her duties entail. That'll be a fun thing to chat about today. She's a professional tarot reader and crystal Reiki master, and here she is live from Amarillo, Texas. It's Mary Brown. Happy Saturday.
Happy Psychic Saturday. Hey, Dax. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Hey.
Pretty good. How are you doing?
I am doing well. Well, it's kind of a nice morning, some crisp air, but we've been in the low 70s, so it's sort of Christmassy with this weather. It won't be a white Christmas.
Well, actually, we hit down in the 40s this morning, and I've got 3 layers on. I've got a long sleeve thermal shirt and 2 hoodies, and I'm sitting out on the patio because it's gorgeous out here. Don't get me wrong, but wow, early this morning, I mean, it almost dipped near freezing overnight, and we had to cover the pipes and everything, and it's feeling Christmassy around here.
Well, yeah, I want to have snow, and it doesn't look like there's going to be any. We've been in the 40s, in the early part of the day and stuff, but afternoons, man, we've been hitting 71, and it just looks like it's just not gonna. We're not gonna get our snowy Christmas.
Well, it's early. It's early. There's a couple of weeks from now you could have tons of snow. We got snow last year too, and it's been hitting. I think in the afternoons, in the sun, it's definitely going to be in the 70s today. Which is good because I have more decorations to put up. Got a helicopter blow up, and it's Santa in his helicopter, and the blades turn around at the top, and
wow,
it's so cool.
Oh,
can't wait to put that up.
You've got to take a video of it. You got to take a video
That's
of
what
the
I'll
blades
do.
turning. Yeah.
Yep.
You could do a YouTube short or something.
Yeah, I haven't tried it yet. I haven't set it up yet, so I don't even know if it'll work. But, hopefully we got a good one and it works.
That's so cool. I want to see it.
Absolutely. Oh, and by the way, if you're a longtime listener and you check out our upcoming show page all the time, and you know what shows are coming up, and you were anticipating our special guest Jennifer Cooper Steely. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right. And her deck is the Tarot Disassembled, which is really cool, And she was supposed to be our guest today, but unfortunately, there was it was a mix-up on her end. It wasn't her fault. It was that her karate studio apparently did not inform her that she was doing the testing for the lower belts. I guess she's a black belt. Ooh, we'll have to talk to her about that,
oh
right,
my
Mary?
Gosh. Yeah.
Karate tarot.
We got it. Exactly. Karate. That would be so cool.
Yeah. So I just wanted to let everybody know about that. We're going to have her on, but we had to postpone. And so she's going to be on Saturday, January 8th. It'll be our first Tarot Today radio show of 2022. All new for 2022. That's my new tagline. I'm going to say that for everything. All new in 2022. And
I love that. I love that.
So she'll be here January 8th, mark it on your calendar. So we decided to do an open line show today. We're going to talk tarot. We're going to do readings, open lines, all show long. So if you're listening live, dial in now. Dial in right now, 714-816-4628. The call lines are wide open, and that could be several factors like, well, first of all, everybody is, doing their Christmas shopping. And then also, they were anticipating an interview, and, we typically take the calls much later in the show on those kind of shows, so people are probably waiting a half hour to call in, But, hey, we're here to tell you that Mary and I are ready to take your call right now. So give us a ring, 714-816-4628, or this will be the shortest show in history. But we also have the chat room open, and I don't know who that is. It says SH. Hello, SH. And Mary and I are in there, and Charlotte's in there. I think Charlotte's going to call into the show. And you could join us in the chat room just by opening a new tab in your browser and typing in chat.psychictalk.net. And if you just happen to be on the website ever, like psychictalk.net, in the navigation bar at the top, it says live. Just click the live button. That'll take you right in here, too. Scroll down below the player, and then you'll find the chat room. And it takes about a couple of seconds for it to load, so be patient, let it load up, and join us in the chat because you can chat during the show and ask questions in there. You can even ask for a mini reading right there in the chat room, chat.psychictalk.net. You can also do psychictalk.net/chat. Hey, we're trying to make it easy. We're giving you every URL under the sun to get you into that chat room. Oh, gosh. Hey, so, speaking of talking tarot, Mary, what's going on with tarot? What's the state of tarot?
The state of tarot. It's funny, but that's something I actually talked about with James Rickliff in my newest version, the December issue of Unveiled, with Mary Brown, the column on the tarotguild.com. I asked him, all kinds of stuff. It was so fun catching up with him. And I asked him, where does he think tarot is going? And it's really kind of interesting because, look, we've talked a lot. You and I have talked a lot on the show about the sort of mainstreaming of tarot, right? And
Absolutely.
So we kind of know that's going on. I totally freaked out one of my, non-tarot, media friends when I was saying, I was talking about how it's going mainstream, and he's like, oh, yeah, really? And I'm like, listen, Cosmo now has a tarot deck they put out, Cosmo magazine. If you're a Cosmo girl, get the Cosmo deck. I don't know. I'm like, you don't get more mainstream than that. Just talking about, just how it's kind of, it kind of makes me sort of think, too, about the fact that when something goes mainstream, everybody jumps on the bandwagon. It's like, oh, okay, this thing's like, got legs now. This is going somewhere. Maybe I'll get into that.
Right.
And, I think it's really important that the people don't just do the fast food version. The people don't just, go for some of these newer decks that are out there that, like, you don't even have to turn your brain on. Everything's written on the card. There's not even 78 cards in it. It's like, hey, whatever goes. I don't think that that's really going to be helpful in the long run. And, I would love to see that along with this mainstreaming of it, I would really love to see that mean that more people are actually going to really learn it and study it and not forget about, all the great tarot knowledge that is already available. That's like pretty solid, So that's kind of interesting, but. More than what's going on with tarot, we can definitely talk about what's going on at the Tarot Guild, because it has been just really, really great stuff. Lots of reviews posted in the video section on the Tarot Guild website. Sharona posted a really cool one the other day. I've been posting them. My new column, Unveiled with Mary Brown, featuring James Rickliffe this month. It's so cool of him to take the time to talk to me. He is, how can you not love the guy, right? We all love the guy. And, oh my gosh, and the coolest thing ever, and there's a new article out from our very own Psychic Talk Radio host, Sharona Rapsick, which she talks about her journey, and we love that when people share their tarot journey. And she wrote this cool article. It's in the article section on the Tarot Guild website. It's called, like, The Little White Dog. I'll have to look at the title, but she talks about reclaiming the fortune teller name. And the way that she explains it, yeah, right? Because, it's been, a few decades of like, oh, well, this isn't fortune telling. And, and then, then it's like, no, it's okay. Then it's not okay. Everybody, I feel like I've seen it go back and forth, like as far as like what the trend is in the tarot community.
Oh, by the way,
and I just
let me jump in for just a second, because you were mentioning James Rickliffe, and I love his tagline. It's on his business cards. I'm a fortune helper, not a fortune teller. So there's an example for you right there.
Oh, yeah. See, that's a great example. It's so funny because those articles are kind of one after another, and he does mention that in the article, too. But you got to read Sharona's article.
So how does
on
she
what
say
it
we
means.
reclaim it? Yeah. Tell me briefly.
Yeah, she talks about, her very first. She's been doing this since she was 5 years old. Isn't that adorable? Little 5-year-old fortune teller. It all started like at her parents. I don't want to, I don't want to give away everything, but it all started at like a Halloween party that her parents were hosting, and there was this lady who was dressed. Her parents dressed her up like a fortune teller, and there was this lady at the party that like was a fortune teller, right, and gave her first set of cards. And it's just a cute story, and you can like just really like visualize it as you're reading it. And it gives us a totally different spin on what it means. What is our fortune? And so I'm not gonna be a spoiler, put out spoiler alerts on it, but definitely go over there and read that. It is just such a sweet story. I love it.
Well, so I want to revert back real quickly, because I never got to say anything about the state of tarot, and I wanted to put my 2 cents in before we talk more about what's going on at the Tarot Guild. There is so much going on too, folks. Oh my God! But don't get me started. No, get me started because We're waiting for people to call into the open line show. You know, we're going to be taking calls as soon as we get some more callers in here. But I just wanted to say that, you know, I think the state of tarot is good. You know, I think it's actually great. You know, I love it going mainstream. The whole thing with the tarot decks and, you know, new tarot decks, I mean, there's 9,000 almost like 10, I don't know, like 10,000 projects on, or wait, or is it 900 and 1,000? Okay, I'm losing track here. I'm going to have to go on to Kickstarter and look it up.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
Somebody do that. Yeah, Charlotte, Jason in the chat room, you know, go over to Kickstarter.com and type in tarot and tell us how many tarot deck projects are currently on Kickstarter, because there is a crap load there, you know, and I don't see it slowing down anytime soon. All right. But what I don't see that I want to see is innovation. We've had the same, and when I say innovation, you know, I'm not talking about changing the tarot deck, changing the structure, these 85, 120 card decks or 40 card, and they call it a tarot deck. It's like, no, that's not a tarot deck, folks. It's, you know, it's an oracle deck. If it doesn't have 78 cards, it's an oracle deck. Okay, but the thing is, there's a lot of innovation that still can be done. Methods of reading things with the cards themselves. There's been some attempts. You know, I think more could be done in the digital area, like with apps and things. I want to see innovation. That's what I'm looking for, is the innovation. And we could be, at the Tarot Guild, we could be trendsetters with some of this, and hopefully that will happen all new in 2022. See, there it came out again.
There it is. There it is. But, yeah, no, you're right. You're right, because I think a lot of it is like, okay, let's just put a different image in there for the hermit card or whatever card it is, you know, and like, you know, look, you know, beautiful artwork. And I'm always going to be supportive of artists getting into the tarot space, because, you know, to me, collecting tarot decks is like collecting little pieces of art. And speaking of that, you've got to, I don't think you've had the chance yet, but I did put it in the video section on the Tarot Guild website. You got to look at this In Dreams Oracle deck. It is, I don't know, it's the most gorgeous Oracle deck I've ever seen in my life. And it's by a world-class, amazing artist. He's Russians.
I want to check that out.
Surrealist, visionary. Yeah, Boris Indrikov, and he's actually going to be featured in my January column, and I'm so excited about that. He's just an amazing artist. You can look, I do a walk through the deck. You can see it on the Tarot Guild website. But that, I would like to see, that is one of the innovations. I would like to see more of that caliber of artists coming into the tarot space too and doing decks, you know. But it's like, sometimes I wonder, like, you know, do they even realize that that's such a big part of is the artwork for a lot of people, you know? Like, they may not realize, like, hey, that's what we're looking at a lot of times. We're reading art.
Right. Oh, real quickly, so in the chat room, Jason goes, dude, I can't do math. And I'm like, it tells you, silly. You go to Kickstarter, you type in tarot, and it tells you explore X amount of projects. And I just did that because apparently Jason's too lazy to do it for me. Anyway, but hey, folks, don't get on me for getting on Jason, because if you've never spent time in the chat room, he messes with everybody. So, you know, he deserves a little feedback or kickback there. But I did that, Mary. I typed in tarot on Kickstarter, and it says explore 1,570 tarot deck projects.
Wow.
So, yeah. Wow.
And that's just right now. And there will be more later.
And that's just right
and
now.
there'll be more later.
Oh,
yeah.
And there was thousands before. I think altogether there's probably about 5,000 decks, out of print, in print, gonna be in print. I mean, that's really where it's at right now. And, I mean, you have really fabulous artists like we just had Luna Charlotte on, and she never did a tarot deck, and she does all these great drawings of octopuses, and her friend goes, "Hey, this is a tarot deck." She had no clue, and then she does the project and raises $200 and something thousand plus on Kickstarter, and for her first deck, so there's going to be a lot of people jumping on the bandwagon. Mary, you and I were doing tarot when tarot wasn't hip yet, and
I know before,
but
it was
people
cool.
are going to be jumping. Yeah, well, now that it's becoming mainstream, people are going to try to jump on the bandwagon, and they're going to try to make $1. I mean, and I don't blame them. But I want to see more than just, okay, well, I'm going to put Hello Kitty on a tarot deck, or I'm going to put, tarot of spiders, and each card's going to have a different spider on it. I mean, it's okay, and yes, I love the art, and I don't want it to stop. I want the new decks coming out and everything, and all the great art. Don't get me wrong, especially for people that collect decks and they think of it as art, and I do too, and you do, and I understand all that. But I want to see more innovation where 600 years of tarot, and it's the same thing basically, and maybe divination's not been done for that long. We don't know, but let's say the mid to late 1700s on the last few, 200 years or so at least, it's been the same thing, And then when you see these articles, let me just finish up with this. When you see those articles in the mainstream publications, which is great, tarot's getting out there. Have you noticed, Mary, though? It's the same discussion about the same questions about tarot. Does the death card always mean death?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it really is. And my feeling on all of this is that a lot of look, there are a lot of decks out there that are innovative, but the problem is like they don't get the attention. It's like, maybe they do something like 3 years ago, Giordano Berti put out the Prophetic Tarot of the Bible with it was like, kind of matching, different like kind of just moments in the Bible that he thought fit like the 78 cards, and he's this art historian and stuff, and then he brings in the amazing Severino Beraldi, who puts these like really fresh contemporary scenes, and you look at that deck and it is amazing how the imagery is totally different, but it really fits the meanings of the cards. And so I like those kind of innovations where we can relate things from our contemporary world in a way that's not just, like, okay, I'm just going to put, Joe Biden's face on the Emperor card, or I'm just going to, put that. I mean, like the meaning and the movement and the actual like events happening and stuff really fit it. And that's one deck I thought incredibly innovative that I don't think people really notice, because they're looking at it and they're like, well, where's that RWS imagery? That's what they're used to seeing is RWS imagery with like maybe a unicorn instead of people, or like you were saying, Hello Kitty, like the four wands. You still got the basic look of the four wands, only you put in animals instead of people. Like that's not innovative. That's adorable, but it's not stretching my as a reader, it's not stretching my meanings. It's not giving me more. It's not giving me a different way to look at that particular card. And that's what I want as far as innovation. I want people to, you know, kind of like expand the vocabulary, not just, you know, give me an analogy, you know.
Mhm. Yeah, and you know, but I understand, you know, a lot of people that love tarot, that's what they love about it, is the imagery. Okay, now I have ideas because I come from a background of sacred geometry, numerology, and it really, the structure of tarot, obviously based on the 5 platonic solids, the 5 elements, the numbers, the structure of the deck, everything. You know, I teach that in my course, how it's connected. And I want to do a deck that's based on that. But it's not going to be pretty art that people like to collect. It's going to be geometric images and numbers, and it totally innovative in the fact that it's focusing on the actual structure of the deck versus you know, how do you put it, images of things, you know, certain situations. That's all that tarot is. You know, Rider-Waite-Smith, especially, you know, that they added the minor arcana images. It's you know, these are snapshots of circumstances in human life, and people do different, like you said, different artwork, different figures, different ways of expressing that, and that's what people like. They like the colorful images. They like the you know, different artists, you know, taking different takes on it, doing it in watercolor, doing it in oils, digital art, on and on and on. You know, but real innovation is not going to be, you know, at least some of the potential real innovation is not going to be what most people get excited about. That's my problem, you know, with that, you know.
Isn't
but anyway,
that weird?
Real quick, let me put out there that the phone lines are filling up. We're going to go to the phone line, 714-816-4628. If you're listening live, get in right now to 714-816-4628. As soon as you get through, press 1 on your dial pad. A lot of people have their hand raised. Oh, I say hand raised because when you push 1, it lets you know, lets us know that you want to be live on air with us. And up until recently, it put this little marker on the switchboard. Well, Blog Talk Radio changed it to the image of a hand raise. So we actually do have hand raise now. I just think that's so cool. You know, so we have a lot of people with their hand raised right now, and we're going to go to those calls. But before we do that, because I already have my card drawn here, card of the day. We haven't done card of the day. What's your card of the day, Mary?
Oh, my card of the day, which is posted on the Psychic Talk Radio Facebook group. If you haven't joined, join the group. Like the page. We have a page and a group, and I post a card of the day in there, you know, a lot, every day almost. I'll get better at it once I get through the holidays. But my card of the day is from the Crystal Medicine Oracle by Rochelle Sharman with really cool artwork by Lynn Hibble. And it's the teacher card. And it comes with an image of a wolf with a little wolf pup, you know, like the big wolf's teaching the little wolf. It's so cute. And Shattuckite is the stone that's recommended. And, you know, really this is about, you know, maybe it's your time to connect to your inner teacher, okay? You know, it's kind of based off that that idea or that old saying that, you know, if you know the question, then you know the answer. And with the idea that, you know, the truth lies within us. And so connect to your inner teacher. And you also may be called to teach others, that could be part of your life's calling, and you just haven't, overcome like the personal doubts that you have about it, so that's something to think about. The teacher within, maybe it's your time to teach, or maybe it's time to find a teacher, when the student is ready, the master appears, right?
Great. Yes, absolutely.
What's your card of the day?
That's a good one. I got one of my favorite cards, the Hanged Man. And when I say that, a lot of people are like, "What? One of your favorite cards is about a guy that's been hung?" But if you look closely at the card, folks, he is not a hung man. He's a man who has hanged himself upside down on purpose. And we get the traditional meanings, we get the delays and reassessment and all that kind of thing. But what I really like about the Hanged Man is its association with the ability to change. It's a card of transformation. That's what I really like, and especially focusing in on what I just said about he's done this on purpose. Notice that he doesn't have anguish on his face. He has a pleasant look, and he's got a halo around his head. Of course, I'm talking about Rider-Waite-Smith imagery here, folks. Don't get me wrong. There's 5,000 other decks, but this is what I work with when I teach. And he's hung himself upside down on purpose because he wants to see the world 180 degrees upside down from how everyone else sees it. And that's where real innovation comes from. This is an Elon Musk moment here. It's looking at what's not being done, looking at creative ways to do it better and different, And so if you are feeling stuck this weekend about something, take a step back, take a deep breath. No, you don't have to literally hang yourself upside down, but try to think outside the box. Look at it from different angles. Talk to friends and family and your BFFs and just mull over things. And try to get away from always going right to your pat thing, like you have X problem, Mary, and it can only be solved by Y solution. And, that's the death of innovation that we've been talking about all day today. You have to be able to think outside the box. Be open yourself up. That's basically what he's doing. He's opening himself up. It reminds me of the story of Odin and the Yggdrasil tree. I'm not pronouncing that right, but and he hangs himself upside down for. Yeah, Yggdrasil. I can't say it. Anyway, it's just like Thor's hammer. I can't pronounce it. But Odin hangs himself upside down, so on the tree there, so that he will receive wisdom in the form of he gets the runes. That's where the concept of the runes come from, and it's a similar thing where you can open up to the universe, allow the universe to give you solutions and ideas you've never thought of. So that was my card of the day.
It's so funny. What I think of lately when I see the Hanged Man? I think of inversion tables, and inversion therapy. Ah! It's like, I do. We have one,
Sorry, that's funny.
And I've been. It is weird, right? Because it's like I can't help but think of that, because it's like I'll walk in the room and there's Perry upside down, and I'm like, and what does that mean? What could it mean? Because, you do it to ease back pain, sciatica, kidney stones, that kind of stuff. But, the theory is that being upside down eases the pressure of gravity on your nerves and, your discs, your spine.
Of course.
I've been thinking about that, like, what does that really mean, like, metaphysically? And
do you remember...
That's all I got so far.
Do you remember Do you remember the Michael Keaton Batman, and he's hanging upside down from the gravity boots, which were all the rage back then?
Oh,
That's what the
no.
gravity boots are for. Yeah. Oh, you gotta check that out. In fact, I think you could just Google it and you'll find a picture of him hanging upside down by the gravity boots. Yeah, that's the whole idea, is you're stretching the spine out, and that really is a hanged man moment right there, you know. Oh, boy, but here we are at the bottom of the hour. We got to get to the phone calls, and before we take our first call, we got area code 352 coming up. We got area code 415 coming up. We've got area code 801 coming up. Oh, someone just dropped off, so that opens another line. So if you're listening live, hey, call in, because we're going to be taking calls, 714-816-4628. Press 1 on your dial pad as soon as you get through. What's coming up on the network, though, Mary?
Oh, yes. Coming up on the Psychic Talk Radio Network this week, it's really exciting. Tomorrow, you guys don't miss it. Sunday, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. It's a Magic Universe show with your host, Sharona Rapsick, and she's having Paulina Faye on, author of the Phantasma Tarot. That's her newest one, the Paulina Tarot, the Joie de Vivre Tarot, the Spirit Song Tarot. She makes such beautiful, beautiful cards. So that's going to be exciting to hear that interview. And then on Monday, December 13th at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, it's the Wisdom of the Soul show with your host, Janice Fuchs. And that will be followed on Monday later at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, with Spiritual Guidance Radio with angelic channel and healer Catherine Hahn, who will be giving free on-air guidance. And then you and I will be back next Saturday on the Tarot Today radio show with a guest, Deborah Zatchow, talking about her Clarity Tarot and doing free tarot mini readings as well. So it's really a great week here on the Psychic Talk Radio Network. You're going to keep up with everything. Find that list of upcoming shows by going to psychictalk.net/upcoming.
Oh, wow. You know, that's the thing doing live radio, is that we have to, we always have the guests call in ahead of time. And, we tell them it's to do a sound check. Actually, it's to figure out, get from them how to actually pronounce their name.
Yes, exactly. That's how the sausage is made.
You chat with people in text on Facebook and online and stuff like that, and you see their name, but, how do you pronounce some of these names? But I think it's Zatchow. That's what I want to say. But anyway.
Yeah, it's hard to know.
Oh, gosh. Absolutely. Yep. So that's what's coming up on the network. I did want to mention one thing. I don't know if it's the following week, because we have a special episode. We're going to be doing our, I don't know, I think it's the last, I think it's the last Tarot Today show of December. We're not doing it on Saturday. We're actually doing it on a Wednesday. So write this on your calendars, folks. So it's Christmas, Saturday, December 25th. So obviously we're not going to be on air. So Merry Christmas, everyone. Yep. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a special episode on Wednesday, December 22nd. By the way, this is the only date that will ever be like this, where it's 1-2-2-2-2-1. Isn't that cool?
Wow.
And
that is.
Yes. And Wednesday, December 22nd happens to be the day that the new Matrix movie's coming out. Film number 4, which, we didn't have a title for forever, but now it's Matrix Resurrections, which kind of makes sense because they're resurrecting supposedly dead characters. Anyway, so Matrix Resurrections comes out on December 22nd. And for those of you that don't know, Mary and I used to do a Saturday radio show called Hollywood Insider, where we covered all the movies and everything like that, just like a regular, movie review kind of show, except for the fact that we had tarot decks. So we were able to pull cards. We would we would pull cards on the box office, and we hit the box office, I think, like 99.9% of the time we got it right.
It was so
tarot.
wild. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah, we did that for a few years.
We did better than people that, like, that's what they do is try to tell you what the winning weekend movie's going to be. That's funny.
Exactly.
I always get a kick out of that.
And so I bring that up because Wednesday is going to be like a mini reunion return to Hollywood Insider. We're going to talk about Matrix Resurrections. Say that 5 times fast. And we're also going to be doing our Psychic Spin for the month. We haven't been doing Psychic Spin because we've been doing a lot of interviews. Well, we're going to ask the tarot, are we already living in the Matrix? So that's going to be the Psychic Spin. Yeah, I can't wait. Plus, of course, free tarot readings all show long. And, call in and join us on Wednesday, December 22nd. Write it on your calendar so you remember, or program it in your phone. I have it programmed in my phone calendar to send me alerts because, you don't want to forget that it's not Saturday that week. It's actually Wednesday. And then we will return next year with Tarot Disassembled, Jennifer Stein.
Yeah.
So
I'll be back on January 1st.
Yeah,
well,
you'll have
on January
there's a rock
1st.
for that. Yeah.
On New Year's
Day,
rock
for that.
Happy New. My topic is Happy New You. I have no idea what I mean by that yet. Happy New You.
Okay, so let's take a look and see who's been waiting the longest out there on the phone lines. Hey, it's kind of like my, new tagline for 2022. It's going to be, hey, it's new in 2022. I'm actually planning on doing that with my course. I feel like it's time. It's getting really, popular. I've been teaching it the same way since 2004. There's been multiple versions. The latest version is a few years old now, the recordings. I want to record it live, do live Zoom classes, revamp it all new for 2022, my Tarot and Numerology course called Tarot by the Numbers. And, speaking of that, we have our holiday sale going, and Tarot by the Numbers is half off. And you can enroll. Certification is included, by the way. And you can enroll, take the old course, which is all video modules, 11 modules, and then you'll be able to attend in 2022 the live course. Now, if you're already a professional reader, you don't want to take another tarot course, we understand. You don't have to take our course to get certified at the Guild. And certification is half off as well. That's right, and it's only $1 a month, billed $12 annually to become a member of the Guild. So for our holiday sale, go over to the website, thetarotguild.com, click on Santa in his sleigh right there on the main page. That'll take you over and explain about our half-off holiday sale. Half off the course, half off certification, half off my readings, if you have life questions, or maybe you need some life coaching, some business coaching, you want to talk about your business, or you want to pull cards on, some personal things, you could book a private session with me for half off during the holiday sale. So go over to thetarotguild.com and click on Santa on his sleigh. You'll see what I mean when you get there. Who's been waiting the longest? Mary, it looks like it's area code 352. Caller, are you there? What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hi.
Hi, this is Joanna from Florida.
Hi, Joanna.
Joanna from Florida?
Yes.
Did I get that right? Okay, good.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you did.
What do you want to chat about?
Oh, Lordy. Well, unfortunately, my ex went to jail for domestic violence, and he got out on December 1st. And the entire time, this is more about his mother. She was very supportive, loving, kind, everything like that. When he got out, she kind of turned against me. Then she apologized. But then I got a very nasty email from her yesterday accusing me of things that I didn't do, and I'm like, what is going on? And I sent her a brief email back and tried calling her twice earlier, and she won't pick up the phone. And I'm like, I have no idea what happened in the past few days. I don't know what made her, what's going on with her, what turned, and as well, there's a no contact in place. He had to leave the premises, and I didn't know if you saw anything with him, like trying to start anything, upcoming. So yeah, I'm clueless as to what happened to our, relationship that we had. I don't know what happened.
Right. And, it's difficult to do readings, for third parties that aren't here. Typically, a lot of readers don't read into that kind of, it's like psychic peeping Tomming. So what we try to focus on is we have to focus on more on, and I'm not, and hold on. I'm not saying that's what we're doing right now. I'm not saying, just listen to me. I'm not saying that's what we're going to do. We're going to pull cards on exactly what you asked. However, I just want to point out to the people listening that we focus in, a lot of readers will turn that around and focus in on you and how you're dealing with it versus what's going on with the other person. Now, that said, things, in the cards, a lot of the earlier cards, recent, leading up till now, good relationship and everything is what's showing up in the cards. But then the central focus now is the Three of Swords, followed by the Eight of Swords. Okay, so swords are, the mind and what's going on in your mind and what you're thinking. She's got some bad thinking going on, and I'm not going to tell you what that is. I don't know. I'd have to sit down with you for 40 minutes and pull a lot more cards than I have time for on the air. But let me just put it in your, just give this to you that that's what's going on, is that, she's got some bad thinking, and she's feeling bad about something because of something she was told from somebody else. And it could have been, it could be her son, or it could be other people talking in her ear, how people gossip, right? Yeah. And, I'm getting a lot of that, and that's what I see going on. Now, I don't know, I'm not giving you any great advice right here, so let's go to Mary, because maybe Mary's got another twist on this and, something more helpful, What are you getting, Mary?
Well, it's interesting. I kind of focused on that idea of, what happened to the relationship between the two of you, And really, a lot of these cards here are showing duality. So we have the Two of Wands, we have the Two of Pentacles. Underneath everything else, though, the way I do this spread is the Five of Swords. So this is somebody, she's fluctuating. She goes back and forth, on it's not like a stable place that she's in right now. Dax talked about the bad thinking and stuff, and so she might go from one pole to the other, from the negative to the positive pole, back and forth. But I think at the root of it is this sense of conflict that she has, and swords are of the mind, so this is in her head, and it's just really sort of challenging her. That's why she's being so inconsistent with you, and it is kind of a negative headspace to be in, and it's almost like she has this sort of thing where as a mother with, let's say, a troubled child, your ex, she's got a lot of conflict there, because it's hard to accept the reality sometimes, and it's hard to not try to say okay, well, things have changed, or things are going to change now. Things are going to change now, and I need to, I need to be in his corner. And then she goes back to well, that wasn't right, that wasn't fair, and she didn't deserve that, so I need to be in her corner. And she's not going to win the battle until she can come from a different place than where she's at right now. So she's not being the ally that she could be. And the other card that comes up here is a Hierophant. So when the Hierophant comes up, because, you know, the Hierophant's a teacher, a mentor, it is a sense of like, okay, you know, there's a lesson being learned in this. And
yes.
part of it could be a lesson that you're learning about this whole kind of, you know, I want to say, like, you know, the interconnectedness of the situation with you, her, him, that kind of thing. But also maybe she's trying to get her footing more than anything else on how she really deals with the whole situation. And you're kind of like, you know, it's like collateral damage that's being done to you. Okay, so the best thing that I see is advice coming from this, because I just pulled a final advice card, and oddly enough, it's the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles, you know, such a beautiful card. It's one of my favorites, and often it has to do with skill and hard work and all of that. But the big thing about it is, like, how do we convert our weaknesses to strengths? How do we, you know, manage to turn what feels like, you know, like kind of a deficit that we have in the situation into really the strength? And I think the strength of it is that while all that ungrounded, crazy stuff is going on with them, it's you finding your center and being true to who you are, and saying, like, okay, you know, they're in a weird headspace, but I'm not in that space. And I got my head in the right place, and I've got things I want to do. I want to create and build the life that I want to be living. So it's hard not to get distracted. Yeah, you can't get distracted. It's easy to get distracted by that kind of stuff going on, though. But you've got to, like, keep your eye on the prize, whatever that looks like for you.
Yes, definitely. You both of you were right on, spot on. Thank you so much. Happy holidays, Happy New Year, and God bless you both. Thank you so much.
Oh, very
enjoy the rest of your weekend,
Thanks so much
Joanna.
For calling. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, when you pulled that extra card, I did too, and I want to let you know a couple things. One is that you pulled that 8, and I got 2 8 cards as well.
Wow.
That's the number of abundance. And you see, I get this strong feeling that she's not happy with the situation either. That she, her former mother-in-law or mother, I forgot the whole story. Anyway, but you know what I mean. The woman she's talking about, you know, and the change in the relationship. Because I got the 9 of Swords when I pulled the extra card, like you pulled an extra card, and it's like she's being kept up at night too, because she doesn't want to not have the relationship with you. Okay, and I pulled another card just to see what would come up, and sure enough, I got the card of the day, the Hanged Man. My card of the day I pulled showed up. Yeah, so you know, think outside of the box, Joanna. And the main thing I'm getting here is that, you know, we can't control what other people do and how they react, and you know, you can't force her to get back to a good relationship with you. Instead, all you can do is just sit with yourself, you know, like the Hanged Man, you know, and put out there to the universe the love and caring that you have for her, and you know, the troubled situation that she's in, stuck between, you know, you and her son. Yeah. So I just wanted to throw that out there before we go to the next call. Speaking of the next call, we've got I think it's 415 has been hanging on the longest. Area code 415. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello.
Hi,
what's your name, hon?
From Washington State. Anne from Washington State.
Okay, it's really, really muffled. I could barely make you out. Did you get the name, Mary? I'm not getting it.
I think it was Anne from Washington State. Is that right?
Yeah. Is that right, Anne?
That's right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yay.
I don't know why, but on my end, Oh, that's why. Yeah, everybody.
And then I
If
went
you're
out.
waiting
Then I
in
turned it off.
queue, yeah, make
And
everybody
called my
waiting in
number.
queue. That's really bad for radio. Okay, it's going to sound like either you're in a tunnel or in a cave, or it's going to be muffled like you got a pillow over your mouth if you try to use a speakerphone or anything like that. So as we come to your calls, this is for everybody else. Not for Ann, but for everybody else that's in queue. Make sure you take yourself off of speakerphone and use the phone like normal, like you're supposed to, because then we'll get the best audio. Okay, so Ann, what's going on with you?
I would like a drawing just kind of about what's coming up till the end of the month. I recently moved. Holidays are kind of hard right after you move because you're separate from your old friends and you haven't made new friends. And I don't have that planned around Christmas. And so...
You're wondering about that?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see what comes up. Mary, it's your turn to go first. What do you see coming up or involved around the holidays and Ann moving and being,
Yeah.
Yeah, you're already moved, and you want to know, like, now what? Here I am. Where's my people? Where's my fun? Where's the stuff to do? Okay, and I'm just going to ask for some advice on this. All these cards are like, the Three of Cups in the past position, the Six of Cups, and you're feeling nostalgic. You're like looking back on those times. Okay, so look, nostalgia is a beautiful thing, but it can also make us cry. You know what I mean? So look, happy tears for those wonderful times and those places you lived before and your dear friends and everything. But guess what? The Judgment card is like blaring at the trumpet and saying, okay, wake up from that. Wake up from that. Look around you. You're in a place that's cooler than it appears right now for some reason.
I'm in a place that what?
It's like there's more to do and there's more energy there than maybe
you think.
you're connecting. Yeah, than you're connecting with at the moment. The Judgment card sometimes is like a wake-up call. And what I mean by that, I used to say karmic keys are jingling. I don't know why, that was kind of lame, but I used to say that about the Judgment card because it just seemed to me like it's one of those big moments where it's like, oh, wait a minute. Hey, this is the big change. And you think the move was the big change, and it was just kind of part of the process. It's time to, happy new you, because this is the fresh chapter. And the Knight of Swords is the other card that comes along here. And the Knight of Swords, he has kind of a bad reputation for rushing in sometimes. And, it's not always about that, though. It's about saying, like, okay, let's focus on the one thing. This holiday coming up, what's the one thing, you may not know right now, but think about that. What's the one thing that's going to be your new holiday tradition in your new space? What's it going to be? It could be, hey, I'm actually going to join a group of Christmas carolers. That would be something if you were into that. Or, you know what, I'm going to start, this is the year that I actually, get a house plant instead of a tree. I don't know. Whatever the thing is, I feel like you need a new holiday tradition in this new space to really kick it off and bring that energy out. And I think you're going to find something that's going to spark that for you by going out there and looking around in your new digs, your new town. Let's see what Dax is getting.
Oh, some interesting things. I got three things. First of all, the main focus card is the Queen of Wands is what I'm getting for you, and this is the card of that fiery energy, and she's very independent. Okay, so this situation is actually a blessing in disguise. This is the opportunity for you, like the card of the day, the Hanged Man, to get in touch with yourself, okay, and your own independence. And it's an opportunity for you to decide what you want this new life to be in this new place, and what kind of friends you want, and who you want to attract in, you see. Now, just like Mary, I also got the Six of Cups, the nostalgia card as well. The feeling I got right away when I looked at that, we both got the same card. I love when that happens. Synchronicity on this show all the time. And I wanted to let you know that right away I got this picture in my head of video conference that just because you've moved to this new location doesn't mean you can't connect with friends in your old city, in multiple old cities, all around the globe,
everyone, that's all the friends have. So that's what I did.
And that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing, you being the person planning hey, we're going to have a Christmas get-together, and we're all going to get on Zoom together, or we're all going to get on Skype together, or what have you. And that's number 2. Number 3 is after all of that, okay, then I see progress happening. I got the Moon card. Moon card is card 18. 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 is the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new one. You're about to start a whole new cycle here, and the Moon card is suggesting to tap into your dream space. So program your dreams and write down what you dream in the morning in your dream journal. Have it right next to you with your pen, your pad right there. It's best to actually use an actual pad of paper and a pen like the old days before we had pads, digital pads, and phones. There's something magic about writing these things down. So write down everything you can remember from your dreams, and before you go to sleep, program your dreams to give you clues about where you should be going in your new digs, where what you should be looking at doing to find these people, the new people that are going to enter your life now and all. So that's what I'm getting. Hope that helped you out.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's more also the Six of Cups is from my dad passed a year ago. So that's pretty new too. So that makes sense. Not just friends. It's a lot of the old family holiday stuff.
Right.
Exactly.
And there's nothing wrong with if those feelings of nostalgia for what was, and having when we lose somebody and we have like a that date comes around again, or that time of year. It's always tough on the holidays, but you got to remember, it's grief is for the living, and that connection, that love, that's energy, and energy doesn't die. It just transforms, So you're still, the love never goes away.
Oh, of course.
And that's the greatest gift. And take that with you, Make that a part of it.
Well, instead of saying happy holidays, let's say happier holidays, Anne, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
All right.
Thanks for the call.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's it. Yeah, it's hard at this time of year. I was taking an Uber home and somehow got into the conversation about the holidays, and the driver, like her father had passed away, and it's hard this time of year. Especially when there's been recent loss, even a year ago, still recent. Let's see. So we're going to try to squeeze in some more calls here, real quick here. It looks like area code 952 has been waiting the longest. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Sandy. I'm from Minnesota.
Hi, Sandy.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Awesome. What do you want to talk
First
about?
Sandy I've ever had. It's been 11 years of broadcasting, and this is the first time I've ever had a Sandy. This is so cool. So,
that's odd.
What's going on with you?
Yeah, I guess I kind of just want a general reading. I need kind of a direction on my life.
Light direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking a look. Give me a sec here. Pulling out the cards. Pulling them out. Yeah, it seems like you are actually at a crossroads right here. This is the time to, look at this really, and what direction you want to go in. The judgment card shows up. I call that the cosmic wake up call. That's like the universe reaching out with its hand with a wet fish and slapping you in the face and saying, "Wake up, Sandy, wake up." This is actually an opportunity, just like with our last caller, where it's an opportunity, for you to steer the course. And the Magician card shows up to say, hey, you have the power. It's all you, girl. You decide what you want to do, and you manifest what you want. Now, the central focus card is the Ace of Cups. So, new opportunities with the aces, it's always new opportunities, What I'm feeling from this is, a lot of times the Ace of Cups comes up in readings, and depending on the reading, it could be new relationships and romance and that kind of thing. But what I'm feeling is something else. I'm feeling, because it's surrounded by Pentacle cards, okay? So I've got the Four of Pentacles on one side, which is establishing financial and material security. And on the other side, a very similar card, the 10 of Pentacles. So we got the Four of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles kind of bookending the Ace of Cups. And I feel like it's a strong message that you want, as you move forward with the Magician card manifesting what you want, that make sure that you are emotionally fulfilled by what you're doing. That's the main thing, whereas maybe in the past, so this is talking a lot more about jobs, career, that kind of thing for me. And whereas in the past, for a lot of us, actually almost all of us, the whole thing has always been, getting the next job or the better job or the promotion and the more money, and, it's all focused on the money thing. Well, this is the tarot saying that, yeah, you want to establish the financial security with the Four of Pentacles and end up with some kind of legacy. That's what the 10 of Pentacles is, the legacy card. This is your opportunity to do that, but to move forward in a way, doing things that make your heart sing, things where you are emotionally fulfilled by what you're doing. You're not just doing it for the paycheck kind of thing. So that's the message I'm getting all together right there, and you're in charge. That's what, whenever the Magician card shows up, you've got the wand there, lady. Just wave the wand. And let's see what Mary's getting. Mary might have some more insight to throw in there.
Thank you.
Yeah, I went a different way. When people ask for general readings, I don't know, I just automatically gravitate towards oracle cards because I think it's kind of interesting. And they got a couple messages here that are, see how you can apply it to, whatever you have on your mind. When it comes to this reading. But the first one is from this In Dreams Oracle deck that I was talking about, and it's a card with a beautiful butterfly on it. And it talks about renewal and saying, it has a funny message. If you want change, renew your wardrobe, in a sense. But it's saying that you need to know that just because if there's something that you feel that you failed at, okay? The message is failure does not mean you don't have the talent. It means you have to try it in a different way. So if there's something that you feel like, well, I tried and I thought I could do it and then it didn't work out for me, you need to look at that and say, oh, wait, there was a different way I could have tried this. Or maybe I'm going to go about this, just in a different form. And then the other thing that comes up here is talking about being willing to be a little patient and being willing to share. And that is particularly around the idea of correcting anything you feel is out of balance, that you don't have to carry the whole weight alone on your own back, so to speak, right? Because we can feel really imbalanced when we feel like a bit overwhelmed or like I've got to do all this stuff and it's just me. And this is saying like, okay, let's take our time and let's do what we want to accomplish in little, one step at a time, little bits, and also being willing to share the load with other people, allow some of this stuff to kind of, lessen the impact. So I don't know, but that's what I got. So
okay.
If that applies in some way.
Hopefully that helps.
Well, thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thanks,
Well,
Sandy.
thank you for
Enjoy
calling.
the rest of your weekend.
Our first Sandy.
Yeah. Yes. Happy holidays as well. Okay,
Yeah.
so I know Charlotte's been holding on for a long time. I think this is Charlotte. Is that you, Charlotte? Charlotte. She fell asleep waiting to get on here. She's been waiting an hour and 15 minutes. Hello, Charlotte.
Hello.
There she is. How's it going?
Good. Now my dogs are all excited. They're all hopping around.
They're like, we want a reading.
We like it when you talk to those people. It makes you happy.
Aw. What do you want to talk about?
Well, so I, over the past month or so, the number 11 has been like crazy important, and it still kind of is, except that because I had my left knee replaced on 11/22. When I came out of the operating room, it was 11/11. When they took me to my room, the room number was 344. When you add that up, that's 11, right? So
wow.
Yeah, right. So this time they're doing my right knee, and they're like, we're going to do it on the 20th or the 21st. And I'm like, please be the 21st, please be the 21st. And so as it turns out, they're doing it on 12/21. So again, adds up to 33. But anyway, do you guys, what do you guys see? Hopefully it goes as smoothly and as fabulous as this other knee did, and I'm going to be a new person.
The bionic woman.
Yeah, well,
so,
yeah.
By the way,
I mean, I just don't...
let me just throw in there, Charlotte, real quickly. By the way, that whole date, including the year, also reduces to 11. So,
okay, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Charlotte, I pulled a card number 11 out of an oracle deck just now for you. This is crazy.
Oh
no
my
way.
God, this is crazy. Oh my God. It's so cool though.
Freaking nuts. That's so nuts. What are you
gonna
doing?
happen?
What kind of mojo are you working?
Well, I mean, I talked to Dax about this a little bit, but I think, I manifested a lot of this to come into play because, I didn't really ever think I was going to get the opportunity to get my knees fixed, financially. And then had this opportunity came up. Somebody mentioned the name of a clinic. He ends up being like one of the top 22 orthopedic surgeons in the nation, and they do this thing, and it's yeah, and it's the only thing it's costing me is gas money to go from here to Salt Lake and back.
Wow. That's epic.
Yeah, it is, and then to have all those 11s show up, especially like when they rolled me out of the operating room and into recovery, and there was that big clock on the wall, and it was 11:11. I went, all right, I'm definitely being looked after, and then added up my room number, definitely being looked after. You know, by
well,
anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, so you know about the 11, and you're looking at the
what
1,
card was that?
right?
That
But
11 card you got.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's from the In Dreams Oracle Guide. There is something really, I got to talk about this deck sometime. I will with Boris, because there's just such bizarre, magical things happening every time I use it, and I'm like, what the heck? And this just happened now. But this card, okay, you know, it's one of the emotions, water feelings, you know, card. Beautiful butterfly on this one. It's also about renewal. Like, they have 4 butterfly cards that are. And the message, the short message is, look at the world with new perception. And then there's a great quote from Mark Twain that I think is really why this card came up for you. The 2 most important days in your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why.
Wow.
So think about that. Why are you here, Charlotte? What are you here to do? What is it that you want to manifest, like the 1, the Magician card, and also 11, the Justice card, and you know, older decks, more traditionally, before the Rider-Waite-Smith, 11 was the card of strength. So this strength thing going on with your knees, you know, you're regaining the strength. Now, what are you going to do with it? Why are you here? What is it that you are going to do? And only you can answer that. What is it that you want that to be? What do you want to manifest?
Oh.
What's the new perception you can bring into the new year, the new you?
It's kind of selfish, but honestly, I cannot wait to get back out and start working with my dogs. It's like that's been the hardest thing ever, is not.
Oh, I got something for you.
And, you know, work with my dogs and stuff. So it's just, you know, because, well, you guys know I have border collies that I trained to herd livestock, and other people may not know that, but that's what I do. And it's been really hard to
sure. You don't have any knees to use. How do you do that? Let's see what Jackson is getting, though.
Yeah.
But I got fantastic confirmation on that as soon as you said that. So, like, what I'm getting is the tarot's talking about, okay, I asked, is this second operation going to go well? And I got, you know, yes. But it's not all sunshine and roses. The tarot's saying that there's going to be a learning curve, like, you know, now that you're going to have both knees haven't been done, that you're going to have to learn how to do some things differently, and you're not used to that because you're used to being independent, but you're going to have to learn different ways as you go through the recovery. But once you get past the recovery, you do regain your independence. And then the very last card, the outcome of the whole thing, is the Fool card. You're literally going to be able to take that leap of faith. You're going to be able to do something new. You're going to be able to get out there and just, you know, new beginnings, new opportunities. Like Mary was saying, you know, make it what you want to make it in 2022. All new for 2022. There's my tagline again. And then it just so happens that in the Fool card, in the Waite-Smith version of the deck, who who's there with him but his faithful dog. He's out there in nature again with his dog, and you're going to be in nature again. You're going to be out there outside with your dogs again in the near future. So look, it's like total confirmation.
Yeah, it's so amazing. It's just, yeah, I mean, it's just so cool, and it's just, you know, affirmation after affirmation that, you know, there's, you know, a higher power that is helping me along the way, and you know, that I waited until the right time and the right thing showed up and all that.
There you go.
It's just, yeah. So
yeah. That was great. Well, thanks for calling in, Charlotte. Always great to talk with you.
Thanks for
Happy New You.
Happy New You. Happy holidays.
Right? I know.
So good luck on the 21st.
Oh,
hopefully you'll get that 11/11 again. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, Charlotte's in the chat room with Jason and Sharona and everybody. Earlier Charlotte was asking me who's SH, and we all just figured out that that's Sharona because she didn't finish her name. It just says SH. We didn't know it was Sharona until just now. You know, it's like, oh, okay, because she said something about, hey, I hope you can all, you know, come to my show tomorrow.
Show.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
Don't
Paulina
forget to
Faye
tune in.
is going to be great.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Oh my God, the phone lines are lit up like a Christmas tree. We might have time for one more call. Let's see, who's been waiting a long time? Because a lot of these callers just got on, but there's somebody that's been waiting almost a half hour or like at least 21 minutes. Area code 619. This will be the last call. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Steve in California.
Hey, Steve.
Hi,
what's
Steve.
up? Hi, California. Go ahead, Mary. It's your turn to start off.
Yes, please.
Yeah, do your oracle card wonderfulness. Magic. I lost the word I was going to use. Yeah, I think it was magic.
Okay, yeah. Let's see what a general reading. I love this deck. It's so different and beautiful. And what comes? Oh my gosh, you got the magic card. There's a magic card in this deck.
Perfect.
That, like, I've never had come up before, so it's so cool. It's so plain. It's really easy, and the message is, do what you must and come what may. It's like no worries. You do you. Oh. You do what you gotta do. You know, whatever happens, you're gonna be good. You're gonna be good. So that's the message that I have. But wow, I mean, that's just like the one magic card in the whole deck that it has that. That's the whole thing to it. It's like, you're good. You do what you got to do. Whatever comes up, don't worry. So it's saying, like, you know, really, like, let go of any fears, of any doubts, of any questions, and do what you feel you got to do. Let's see what Dax had.
Oh, wow, that was just so good. I don't know if I have anything much better, but so the message that did show up, though, I got, yes, once again, I swear to God, I shuffled the deck. I got the Hangman again, the card of the day, like we've got for multiple other calls. Apparently, Steve, everybody's needing to hear this today, that, you know, it's time to take a deep breath, step back from everything, take a look, reassess, and think outside the box. And the page of swords shows up, and I feel that's representing you. I don't know if you're an air sign. Are you an air sign?
I'm a Virgo.
Virgo, okay. And you know, this is somebody that is has vision, grace, dexterity, diplomatic, discerning, a great negotiator, decisive, penetrating insight, a curiosity. Some people can think they're aloof when they really aren't. really. They're very objective, though, great with electronic communications. And he's looking back over his shoulder at the King of Cups. And the King of Cups is the most emotionally stable. He has a sea of rough seas around him. Things are crashing all over the place. There's fish being thrown out of the ocean. There's ships, going up and down on the waves back there. But he's sitting on his rock-solid stone throne. He is emotionally in control, stable there. And so this seems like it's a focus for you that, and it kind of goes along with what I got for a previous caller, especially with the Hanged Man showing up. Think outside the box, and for 2022 especially, because the New Year's looming, think of things that are emotionally fulfilling for you, and focus more on that than the almighty dollar, just like I said for one of our previous callers. It's kind of a very similar message coming through. So that's what I got.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Both of you.
Thanks. Thanks, Steve. Thanks for calling.
Have a great weekend.
You too.
Yes. Wow. Awesome show.
This went fast.
We had to do... It went fast. Yeah, we had to do this impromptu show because we had to reschedule our guest to January 8th, so be sure to write that in your calendar. In the new year, our first Tarot Today show. But we got to talk tarot. We got to do readings. This turned out really good, didn't it?
Yes, it did. And everybody, don't forget to go check out the Tarot Guild website and see all the cool things we have going on over there. And don't forget to tune in to Paulina Faye on Sharona's show tomorrow, The Magic Universe. All kinds of good things.
Phantasma Tarot, the Phantasma Tarot, which is phantasmic. I just had to throw that out. It's so beautiful. It really is. Yep. And of course, we'll be back next week with the Clarity Tarot with special guest Deborah Zachow. And don't forget our special episode, the last one of the year we'll be doing, and it's going to be on a special day. Same time, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, but it's going to be Wednesday, December 22nd, special episode, Matrix Resurrections, and our psychic spin is going to be, we're going to ask the tarot, are we living in the Matrix, Mary?
Are we? I don't know. We're going to have to pull some cards on that and find out.
I think we are. I'm just saying. Yeah, actually, I have a lot to say about that. When did the first Matrix come out? 1999?
I think so.
Yeah, it was the turn of the century there, just about. And I remember seeing it the first time, and I've, watched it a gazillion times. And we could talk about this, Nick, on Wednesday, the 22nd. But, something really clicked for me there. And I was like, oh, my God, the Wachowskis are like, they're in a fictitious story. They're actually telling us how it really is. Not exactly like what's going on in the movie, but we live in a holographic universe. There's even a book, folks. Get the book, Holographic Universe.
Yes.
What were you going to say, Mary?
My mind was blown. So I was like, wow, what if it's true? I got lost there for a second. What if this is truly a holograph that I'm living in here?
Mm-hmm. But the beautiful thing about that is, if you think about it, if we are living in the Matrix, all this stuff about the law of attraction and everything, if we're living in a holographic universe anyway, we can make it into whatever we want.
Oh, totally. Totally. But we'll talk about that more on Wednesday.
Wednesday after next. Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. So see you next Saturday, everybody. And thanks to all our callers and listeners. We had a lot of fun. And thank you, Mary.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Good night, John Boy.
Good night, Mary Ellen.
Ignition sequence start.